My music taste hasn't really changed too much. Like I still, in general, listen to the same things I've always listened to.
Okay.
But obviously it hits different when you're listening to it in the same place where you discovered it.
Welcome to Digging, Dev Hynes.
Hello.
Hello. I do a quick introduction just for the listeners. You are a multidisciplinary artist. You are best known for your music as Blood Orange.
Yes.
But listeners might also know Lightspeed Champion.
Correct.
Test Icicles.
If they're old enough.
Real heads might know NLS Crew.
Let's go.
Yeah. And we're speaking today after you've released your 5th studio album as Blood Orange.
Yes.
My favourite music that you've ever made, I have to say.
Thank you.
The album is called Essex Honey.
Yeah.
We will talk a bit about that, as well as your work in film scoring, general life stuff. Let's see where we go.
Okay, cool.
But before we get started, I want to know if you're at all green-fingered.
I am, but it's been a while.
Okay.
But when I was younger, I used to do gardening with my mother, and I had a brief spell at the M&S in Ilford as the arranger of the flower display.
Oh yeah. How long were you at M&S?
I mean, like 3 or 4 years.
Oh wow.
actually,
Okay,
yeah.
so you got quite pro.
Yeah.
Okay, pro flower arranger.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Well, this is going to be right up your street because today we're going to do flowers. Normally I grow vegetables, that's like the thing I know about.
Okay, cool.
But the time of year, we're in autumn, there's not that much to do. So I thought some spring bulbs would be nice.
Okay, amazing.
So we're going to do something, I find it a horrible twee name, but it's kind of known as the bulb lasagna. It's a lasagna of bulbs, predictably.
Amazing.
So we will put in some gravel at the bottom, then we'll put in a layer of this is homemade compost, so like, you know, recently digested food. That will go in first. Then we'll do big bulbs. We've got a variety of different things. We've got tulips, daffodils, some irises, and we'll do the big bulbs at the bottom. The idea is that then they will grow around the smaller bulbs that we'll put in the next layers of the lasagna. And come spring, you get like a big, busy pot,
Beautiful.
basically.
Wow.
I've never done it before,
Okay.
but I see Monty Don doing it all the time, and I think, all right, if it's good enough for Monty, it's good enough for me. So, do you want some gloves?
Yeah, I'll take some gloves actually.
Okay, here's some gloves for you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You know what? I'm going to do a quick little.
Do a bit of a rejig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Pull the sleeves out.
exactly. I'm
Yeah.
really. I'm in it. All right, let's go.
Okay, we'll have to. You've got a bag of bulbs. This is your tulip, and there's some daffodils in here as well.
Okay.
So just put the tulips, which are the big ones, first, and you can put them relatively close together. They don't want to touch, but they can be close together.
Okay.
So they can be quite densely packed, and then you'll put. So just to reiterate, gravel, then a layer of this, big bulbs, then the pasta layer of a bit of compost.
Yeah.
Then we'll put daffodils either from this bag, or I've got more there if we need them.
Okay, got
That's
it.
the second layer. Then more compost, and then the top layer of irises, and then more compost, and then put it away.
All right.
Okay. Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Talk to me about gardening and sort of, I guess, nature. Are you a countryside kind of person? Do you like to be out and about in the...
Growing up, not so much, and I think part of that was from growing up in Essex, and I would kind of occasionally be in like, you know, the greenery of Essex, but growing up actively was trying to leave it, and it was always in London and in East London. But the last few years, I've really had a strong craving to be out in the country.
Okay.
I've really, I basically wrote a bunch of songs about it, but it's something I've really, wait, is this after the gravel?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've really wanted it, and I've been looking at places, because I want to try and build a studio with my friend out in the country as an excuse to be out there.
In the British countryside?
Actually, in the French countryside.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, I love it. You know, even with the French people, I love it.
How long have you lived in New York?
About 16 years now, maybe even a little bit over that.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So you aren't tempted to go upstate?
No, I've never been an upstate person.
Okay. Why?
I don't know what that means, but I don't know. Something has never spoken to me about it. I know people love it. It's a thing.
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been either.
Yeah, people really do love it, but I don't know. I love New York so much that I kind of just feel like the best part of New York is New York, like the city of it. And I think for me, if I'm gonna do some type of nature, I mean, it is real nature up there, but I think I like the idea of almost like an extremity of it. And maybe because I'm from this part of the world, I think that idea of like a homely nature feels European to me.
Got you. Yeah. Talk
Is
to
this
me.
a thick layer? I see your layer is like...
It's relatively thick.
Yeah. Am I like being skimpy with it?
Yeah, you're being skimpy.
Okay, all right.
You're going to do in total 3 layers.
Oh, right,
so
yeah,
you're going to get to the top.
The lasagna.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
It's quite a horrible... There's something about it that is just so twee.
But it's helpful.
It is helpful and it makes sense, but I have to resist being like, and then we put it in the oven and we you know what I mean, that horrible kind of continuation of a metaphor. Talk to me about Essex.
Yeah.
When you were growing up there, did you like it? Were you happy that you were there?
It was... It's weird because I guess I could say that I didn't like it, which I think would be a fair assessment. But it was also that thing where I didn't know what else there was. So, you know, obviously I'd come into London mainly to like skate and stuff and play football. It feels, you know, when you're from these places, it just feels like the world. Like that's what the world is. And I'd read books about New York or watch films or whatever. That just felt like outside of the world. So I didn't really like it, but it was also, that was even an option in some weird way. And then I was playing in bands like quite early, so I was fortunate enough to then like travel around Britain and then also in Europe. And then that's when I think you start to be a bit more like, okay, there's more out there and maybe I actually just don't like it, like back there.
I feel like Essex is a really interesting place. Like,
it is.
I am quite fascinated by it, actually. A lot of music I like is from there. I kind of like how it's this misunderstood and maligned place.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen Jonathan Mead's The Joy of Essex?
No.
This is do you know Jonathan Meads?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to watch this.
Wait, I'm so excited to watch this.
Yeah, you've got to watch it. It's on YouTube.
Wow.
It's from 2013. Just for listeners maybe who don't know who Jonathan Meads is, he's a British architecture critic and TV maker, I guess. Yeah. And he's this kind of very like traditional posh man. Although I don't think he's actually got a real posh upbringing. I think he's not that.
You think it's a
I think
affectation?
Slightly.
A bit,
he's kind of doing a thing.
That makes sense.
And he makes these amazing programs about architecture and places, and he has this kind of mad way. He's always wearing sunglasses, and he like delivers stuff straight to the camera.
This is good.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's quite Chris Morrissey and a bit mad.
Yes.
Anyway, he's done this thing about Essex, and the quote, which I will probably get wrong, is something like, "In modern Britain, nowhere has suffered the institutional lies, tribal slander, blood libel as much as Essex."
Oof.
It's really good.
I love that.
I want to talk to you a bit more about Essex specifically and growing up somewhere where it's kind of like defined by its proximity to somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in the suburbs of southwest London.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask where you were.
Yeah, and I have a similar kind of feeling, I guess, about like, I felt like when I was a kid I had different options of identities I could be. There was like maybe 3 things that I could be as this like suburbanite person, and one of them was pretending to be from London. So I would do that. I would pretend to be from metropolitan London, kind of deny my suburban roots. And then now as I get older, I have a lot of love for where I grew up. It's very green, it's very like wild and lovely. And I wonder, is that something that resonates with you? Were you an Essex denier?
That's a really interesting question. Obviously the pool of the city, and you kind of want to be one of them, whatever them is. Most people I knew actually weren't even from London. At the same time, there were other things. I think also because I love football and I grew up loving football, I was quite lucky to have these kind of like iconic football players from near where I was from. I lived near like Paul Ince and Ray Palmer and then like Beckham. And when I was younger, I mean, I'm a Tottenham fan, but I'll admit that my love of football was because of Man United. And so it was almost a bit of like code switching of like, depending on my scenario or where I was or who I was talking to, there'd be a sense of pride and a sense of like denial.
Did you play football like sort of semi-professionally?
Yeah, I did like, up until like 15-ish.
Wow. Did you actively give up the dream, or did you have like an injury, or what happened?
No, I actively gave up the dream. I actively gave it up. But I should say that I don't know if I had some kind of hindsight. Basically, the higher up it got, the worse I played and the less I enjoyed it.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Like the more serious it became?
Yeah. I would play awful and hated it. And I think there's multiple factors. Like one, I don't have whatever that pro athlete thing is, like at all. Like I don't have that. You know, there's a thing.
I feel like that's a shared thing kind of with musicians, though, no?
I'm determined and competitive.
Yeah.
But there's just another level of something I think those people have.
You have to be, I imagine, you have to be so dedicated. You have to believe.
Exactly.
You have to like kind of be delusional.
Yes, exactly. A delusional sense of self-belief.
Yeah.
Really.
And were you delusional?
No, I was a little too self-aware.
I guess also one of the factors in kids making it through the academy system and like whatever making it to their football dreams also is the parents.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to you about your parents.
Yeah.
I specifically want to ask you about your mum.
Yeah.
What was she like?
She's amazing and very, a very stubborn person and very headstrong. And it's funny because I think growing up I never thought I was like her, and people would say it. And now, like 39, I totally see it. I really see how similar I am.
Wow.
And actually, it's funny because my dad told me a story after she passed that I didn't know, which is, so when I quit football, I really quit. Like I quit every team I was on.
Just like a hard goodbye.
Yeah.
You went cold turkey, no more football.
Just done.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're how old?
At that time, I'm 15.
Okay.
And so in my mind, that's the end of the story.
Yeah.
And then after my mum passed, my dad told me that the main scout, and I've forgotten his name, but the guy that was my main kind of like champion, physically turned up and would ring the doorbell.
To try and get you back?
Yeah. And my mum always said, it's his decision.
Yeah, she respected you.
Yeah.
And she backed you.
Exactly. And I never knew this. Yeah, so that kind of, I think, shows the type of person she was.
That's top level parenting.
Exactly.
And so you went back, I know she died in 2023.
Yes.
And you went back and spent time in Essex around that period.
Yes.
And was that the longest time you'd been at home? I don't know if I should call it home.
Yeah.
Is it home to you?
Guess, one of.
Yeah, one of.
Yeah.
But that was the longest period you spent in Essex for a while?
Yes, yeah.
Roughly how long were you there?
I'd say like, give or take 7 months, half a year, 7 months. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time to be back. And did you find when you were in that process of her passing, her being unwell, did you find that you were returning to like childhood, teenage music?
Yes, I did, more than ever. Because obviously I was always going back, for like holidays and whatever. And more than ever it felt very surreal. Also, I guess like because she was in hospital for a couple months, and it was in Romford. So basically all those times when I'd come back, it was always more like coming back and going straight to the house. So it was a different thing, but now because of this situation, I was on the same buses, like bus journeys that I would take to school, and the same train stations, coming out of the station in Romford and walking. I was doing these things that I actually literally hadn't done since I was a teenager. And even then, even my late teens, I wasn't even really doing it, you know. It was a weird bubble, a weird place to be. It was this kind of, it felt like, in a lot of ways, it actually felt like I'd never left. My music taste hasn't really changed too much. Like, I still, in general, listen to the same things I've always listened to.
Okay.
But obviously it hits different when you're listening to it when you discovered it, in the same place where you discovered it. So listening to like, you know, the Smiths and Kate Bush, and yeah, it was very surreal. It was very strange, and just had to live it. There was no choice, which I think is the other part that was maybe mentally playing a factor.
I can really relate to what you're saying. My dad is unwell.
I'm sorry.
I spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
And every time I go back, they still live in the house that I was born in.
Yes.
Which is weird, which I got tattooed on me, the number of my house when I was like 20, which is a stupid tattoo. But I'm a very, I don't know what the right word is, like, not necessarily nostalgia, but I'm a very, like, I get a bit emo about this kind of thing. I really get in my feels.
Yeah.
And there's something very cathartic and very intense about being in the house that I grew up in, or take my dad to hospital, whatever it is, and being in this area and listening to, for me, it's more like Elliott Smith or Sufjan Stevens or something. It's like this.
Listening to both of those.
Yeah, it's a very like earnest, emotional music.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really feeling my feelings.
Yeah.
And I'm finding that that's hitting different than it ever has before.
Yes. Same thing, it was the house I grew up in.
Right.
That I was in. So it's the exact same. It's crazy. Looking out the window, it's the same window you looked out of, you know. It's
so weird. I feel so in touch with my child version of me for the first time in a long time. Like, I feel I can really access that person.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah.
Did you get the same, I don't know if this will have happened for you, but I get this quite intense desire to like procreate.
Wow. With
the death of a parent. There's something, it feels like that's the moment that it's like, I should birth a child.
The sexiest moment. No, no, but I actually do know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
There's something about it.
Yeah, you're faced with what it means and what the reality is, and the idea of the family line and generations. I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're also, I think, faced head on with the reality that you're not a child. And that you are like now the adult.
Yeah. You've got power of attorney and shit like that.
Yeah.
I remember being given that with my dad, where it's like, you're going to be the one that makes big decisions and shit. And like, you know, I'm practical. I'm driving and I'm doing all this sort of stuff that, when you're 12, of course you can't do.
Although I still need to learn how to drive.
Oh, if you're going to be in the French countryside,
that's
like the number one thing you need.
I know, everyone keeps saying, and I'm going to do it, I promise. I can't just take the TGV train.
I want to quickly ask you a bit about the actual process of making Essex Honey, because this is an album definitely inspired by the grief of your mum, and I suppose the sort of, I imagine like the pre-grief of her illness.
Yeah.
Did you find that these songs kind of came out of you quickly? Are they things that you spent lots of time over? Like, what was the actual process of making the album like?
Yeah, it's a bit of a mix, you know, because like it's kind of a funny thing, because the title Essex Honey I had like 7 years ago.
Oh, right. Okay.
The words, and I work a lot that way sometimes, where I have sentences or couplets and words and titles of things that I just like on a purely aesthetic basis, like phonetically and aesthetically. And Essex Honey was one of those. And it's interesting that then my life kind of weaves its way towards the title. And the same thing with a few of the songs on the record. A couple songs, and just in general, I was playing with this idea of interpolation of songs I listened to, and was writing songs that direct lines and music from songs I used to listen to. And that was just something I was exploring like in 2017.
Right.
Just as a fun kind of experiment. And again, it's this funny thing that my life actually led to a place where I really was listening to songs I used to listen to. And so there's some music that existed quite far back. And then basically after that period of being back for, like half a year or whatever, and, looking after my dad and, dealing with my sister, all the things like post-death that you have to like do. And, I'm not thinking musically in any form. I then, as a way of, I wanted to like go somewhere because I hadn't really been alone or anything, but I wanted to be close to England. And so I went to Paris and spent time in Paris. And that's how I ended up spending a lot of time there through the years. But I basically did an initial trip because I have some friends there anyway, and just rented like a small place. And it's crazy looking back because I really was not thinking about music, but I bought like a small MIDI controller and like, tiny, almost like PC speakers, basically, like tiny things. And I had my laptop with me, and I like, bought like a Sheila mic. And I just started to toy with things. And there was a week, maybe a week or two, where I just toyed with different ideas and, closed it and thought nothing of it. And that week or two is like 5 songs on Essex Honey.
Wow.
Like, straight.
Can you tell me which ones?
Yeah. And eventually I kind of would add them and build them. But Thinking Clean, Scared of It, which has Brendan Turnstile in it, and I Listened, I Can Go. There's definitely a lot more.
Wow. But a big chunk.
A large chunk. And I really thought nothing of, and I hear stories like I'm like such an obsessive music nerd, and I read stories of like every album I've ever loved, and obviously there's archetypes of like how albums are made, and there is one that I've read about where they're like they just like did some stuff and and it ended up being the album, like you kind of hear about that stuff, but it is really crazy to me when I look back because I cannot explain to you how nothing I thought what I was making was. And the lyrics are exactly, lyrics haven't changed, the structures haven't changed. They are really, like Thinking Clean is structurally like exactly what it was, and all these words and all the lyrics of these songs. I think even Look at You was one of those songs too. And an early version of The Field, not the developed one, but the idea of the Duity Column song stemmed from that period. But so yeah,
wow,
kind of crazy.
That's mad.
Yeah.
So how are you getting on over there?
Is that too little bulbs?
No, you've done one thing which would be good if you could amend.
Oh no.
The bulb number's good. You should put them the other way up. So you put them on their side, and you should put them with the roots facing down and the pointy bit up.
Okay.
I'm so sorry I didn't explain that to you.
I was taking artistic license.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. They'll just take the long way around, and that's beautiful. So is that a very different experience than your previous music work then, to sort of quickly write these kind of scraps, throwaway, or not that sounds demeaning, but scrappy recordings?
You're right. It is a little, I mean, I do work in this way that's quite transient. Like I travel with a hard drive, and I just kind of will record inside a home or hotel, and then occasionally go to a studio if I want to do more, like if I feel like I need to track drums, or if like maybe the microphone needs to be nicer or something, like I'll do that. But I do really write like that in a very like like a stream, like a week or two stream of writing. I also really have like finished songs, so that part is actually a little different to how I usually am. It's usually quite like Frankenstein. Like it's very like
Your music
piece by piece.
And your music sounds like that
Yes,
sometimes too. There's
exactly.
like different bits, and you can hear that there's a sort of Arthur Russell-y kind of bit,
Right.
and then there's
And then
another bit, and then
something's-
there's a collage bit, and
Exactly.
and it makes sense as a whole, but
Yes,
it's quite cut and paste.
exactly. And it's very. I always say that I feel like the albums kind of grow like this because everything tends to exist, and then they all kind of finish at the same time. It's rarely that I have like. There you go. Look at this.
That's like the bun lasagna, baby.
You can use that. But you know, it's never really like, oh, I've got 2 or 3 songs finished.
Right.
I never have that.
Right.
It's really just like I have a bunch of unfinished.
And then they all get finished
Yes.
in the same sort of period.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
How does that differ when you're making a film score? Because I know that that's a big part of your work.
Yeah.
This is something that this is a real mystery to me, the world of the film scoring.
It's a mystery to me.
Like, how do you do that? So you have to imagine that you're talking to someone that knows nothing about this. How do you begin? Like, what's the process of scoring a film? Like, talk me through it in sort of layman's terms from start to finish. Like, do you see the film silent and then you just have to interpret it and give it your best shot? Do you go along as the film is being made? Like, how does this happen?
You know what? I will say like one of the coolest things about scoring films and TV stuff is that there are so many different ways that it happens.
Right.
Like, and I have a relatively short career in it, but I've still experienced like such a crazy array of ways. Like I've done it where there's no music, and it's somewhat finished.
Okay.
And then you're going through it scene by scene and add-in. I've done it where it's semi-finished and they have a temp score of music they like.
Well, like existing music.
Yes.
Like okay, right.
And it'll have like, you know, a Mozart piece, and they're like, "Can you do something like this?" And you're like, "Okay, yeah, let me open up Logic Pro and make
Let me put my
make a little
Mozart.
Mozart piece." You know, it's like you get like stuff like that sometimes, and then there's other ways where they haven't shot anything, and you're talking to them, and you're building as they're building it. So there's all these different ways. I pretty much like all of them. I think the best way is while they're editing.
Okay.
So they've shot it and they obviously have ideas, but they're also editing at the same time while you're giving them music and working. And I think that way it gets a bit more of a
Sounds
kind of...
like collaborative.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say also, like, on a very simple level, that the best experience is, and it does sound very like, of course, but when the director likes music.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple thing, because we kind of forget, and I know we're in an NTS world, but not everyone likes music in a way that, like, not everyone is like always listening to music or sees it as a thing they need in their life. Sometimes it's quite an additional factor to their life.
It's a background thing that they bang on a bit.
Exactly.
And sometimes, it's an afterthought, I guess.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I think the smoothest experiences I've had are just when they just in general like music, because I actually think then there's no bad notes. I always feel, because there's a reason. The worst thing is, and I think this is in any field, but someone giving a note with no reason is horrible.
Yeah.
Like it's, and it's also an impossible feat.
Yeah, my friend's a graphic designer, and it reminds me, he always says that people say, can you make it more dynamic, or make it louder, or make it, it's like, what the fuck does that mean?
Exactly. If there's no meaning, but if there's a meaning, you can actually understand any note given, and then there's actually no negative note, because then it just becomes you being subjective. Obviously you want to be yourself and you want to have your personality and give your strengths, but the goal is bigger. So if it's a collaborative experience and the goal is this like umbrella above you all, then every note is valuable because you're trying to connect. And so those are the best experiences.
Has there been a particular film that you worked on that was your favourite to work on?
Yeah, actually, I did a series for Luca Guadagnino called We Are Who We Are, and it was the best.
I can imagine
He's the best.
Yeah, and also he seems like he really knows about music.
I mean, yeah, his music taste, and even in his films, I love it. I also love that in all of his films he uses John Adams.
Does he?
Yeah, he uses John Adams pieces in all of his films.
Sick, that's cool.
And I love that consistency, you know.
When I think about Luca Guadagnino music in films, it's one of my favourite needle drops is Love My Way and Call Me By Your Name.
He's good at a needle drop.
Oh, he's so good at it. He's so good at it.
He's very good at a needle drop.
I'm just going to get some more compost because you need a bit more.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, let's re-up this. Okay.
Have you visited the Jarman house, the Derek Jarman house?
Which one?
In...
Oh, the Dungeness one?
Yes.
Sorry, do you know what? You said Derek Jarman and I heard William Morris. And that's why I said which one.
Love it.
Yeah. Yes, I have, in Dungeness.
Wow.
Have you?
No, I really want to.
Oh, you should go while you're...
Yeah.
I guess you're touring.
I know.
I want to ask you actually about someone that seems like a bit of a hero to you, which is Philip Glass.
Yeah.
I have to confess, my Philip Glass knowledge is not good.
Yeah.
Can you tell me, you have a picture of him on your piano, is that right? Did I read that somewhere or have I made that up?
I think at one point I did. It's a rotating, it changes.
Oh, really?
Well, it's more, I'm always, it's not so, a lot of things in my, where I live are very, they're not intentional.
Okay.
And I just have a lot of, cards and postcards and things like that, and I'm always just moving stuff.
Who's on the piano right now?
It's funny because I hadn't thought this out, but it's random, but but it's Jesus. But I'm not. It's not like it's not in a like Christian way.
It's in a what way?
It's a painting by Caravaggio because I went to the huge show they had in Rome.
Oh wow! Okay.
A couple months ago and got like the cards and stuff.
Okay.
But it's funny to think about that, yeah. And I hadn't thought about that.
There's something in there.
It's really good. That's good. Wow.
But so it has at some point been Philip Glass.
Yes, it has.
Is he is he as important to you as I think he is, or have I kind of overstated that?
No. He's fully important. I think it's actually. I'm glad you brought it up because it's a kind of importance where I probably don't think about it often. Okay. Or daily, but because there's people who I think are important in a way that like I'm still consistently listening to Arthur Russell and the Smiths and things like that. People that stay in the realm, but he's important in a very fundamental way of my composition life and piano playing. Like my piano playing stems absolutely from him and in his style and his repetition and even patterns. Like I naturally do a lot of, if I'm especially to do more arpeggios and stuff, lean towards Philip Glass.
Okay.
Melody writing, I think too. He's someone that would write a lot of melodies kind of on beat a bit. And
what does that mean?
This is something I've actually been thinking about a lot recently because my vocal melodies are very straight and don't bend. Like, I guess like a lot of singers will like sing into a note and it'll be quite fluid and loose. And all my vocal melodies are very
like you hit the note straight on it.
Yeah, like I mean, I'll do it just to get the point across. But like there's a song called "Losing You" that I wrote, and it's like, "Tell me the truth, boy, am I losing you for good?" Like it's very
got you.
And then do, 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 do. Like I write very like that, and it's absolutely Philip Glass inspired.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, so he's. Yeah, definitely a pillar.
Now you explain it, I can hear that in your music. I know exactly, especially when you sung Losing, I can hear that da da da. I can hear so clearly what you mean.
It's like on beat, it's the notes. It's not go up to the note and fly around and stuff. It's very, and that's actually, I guess, in Blood Orange music, in terms of maybe hearing what someone has, especially when there's other singers involved, and hearing maybe what they bring writing-wise, that's a pretty good tell, actually.
What, whether they go, whoa?
Yeah, if the melody is looser and more fluid, which I love, but it's not my strength to write like that, then usually the person singing it has brought that. That's something they've brought to the music.
Cool. Yeah. I'm conscious of the time.
Oh yeah, do I need to do one tiny?
Yeah, you need to finish.
Sorry,
yours.
Is it more of these?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to grab a bunch and get going.
Actually, Dev, let me see. Have I got some more? No, yeah, that's it. Those are your irises.
Okay, let me lock in.
That's okay. You don't need to be so rushed. I'm just conscious that you've got places to be.
Are these going to stay here, or are they going to get chucked away?
What do you mean?
Tell me the truth.
They're going to stay here.
Okay. Because I'll come visit them.
I've only done that once.
It was so bad.
I unplanted something, that had been done. But that's the only time I've ever done that. Yours are going to be, they're going to bloom and they're going to be gorgeous.
Was it clearer? Tell me the truth. No, I'm joking. I love her so much.
Can you just tell me, are you listening to anything or reading anything or watching anything that you're particularly enjoying at the moment?
Yeah. I was just this morning listening to the new Westerman album.
Oh yeah.
Which is really, really good. I love Will a lot.
I can see that.
Yeah, we have a very similar.
I can see that.
Yeah, I really. So I was listening to that.
Give this a nice thick layer.
Okay, let's go. And last night I was watching. I fell asleep to a Stockhausen opera that was so crazy, but it was oddly comforting. It was like super weird and atonal, and it was filmed in Paris a few years ago. And it was the singers were in the audience walking around. It was called Sonntag Direkt.
Okay.
I guess Sunday by Light, maybe. I think that's what it is. And so that was last night's viewing and
very highbrow
and listening. I'm not completely highbrow because I was just talking about Celebrity Traitors just now on the way here.
Yeah, iconic.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, Celebrity Traitors, Stockhausen, and Westerman.
Nice. Okay. And I guess the Premier League.
We didn't even touch it.
You're doing good though.
Do you follow?
Yeah, I'm a Crystal Palace fan.
Love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. My fantasy league team name is Hakuna Matata.
Sick! That's so good. You know what? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, I stole it. A friend of mine did it, so I can't take credit for it, but that's my fantasy name.
My friend was saying he's really upset because he's in a league and someone else in the league has done the same thing. His is, something about Cesco meal deal. And then someone else's is like...
That's very good.
Save money at Cesco or whatever the Tesco phrase is.
I didn't even think about that.
I know.
Palace are doing great.
Palace are killing it.
Yeah, I love watching them play.
Everyone does.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Palace now.
Everyone loves Palace.
There's too many eyes on Palace, which freaks me out.
Hey, that's what happens when you win. You start winning trophies.
I know. And then everyone looks at you, and then everyone's... I'm worried that Glasnow's going to go to Liverpool.
I mean, everyone leaves Palace. How's that going to change, you know? What do you think?
I guess that's a good note to end on.
That is very nice, actually.
Dev, how have you found your bold lasagna?
I love it. I think it's a bit of a skimpy,
You were a bit skimpy on the soil, but that's okay. I'll probably, after you leave, just add a bit more.
It's a bit vegan.
But it's great.
Plant-based.
Exactly.
Okay, so we'll stop.
That was perfect. Dev, thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, so fun.
Brilliant. Oh. Bang on time.
Yeah.
Killer.
Nice bit of gardening this.
Yeah, good. It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're anything like me, you leave your Christmas and birthday gift shopping to the last minute. Well, those panicked days are behind me since I discovered Nowaki. For myself, I'm angling for the blue steel folding knife this year. You can get 10% off your Nowaki order by heading to nowaki.com and using the code DIGGINGWITHFLO at the checkout.